Hey guys, and welcome back to Freeman Guerrilla Warfare. Hey, I'm going to do something a little bit different for this episode. We're going to play, but I'm going to talk about my wish list. I've got almost 180 hours into this game over 9 seasons of gameplay, and these guys are friendly, right? Yep. They took over the town, by the way. I've been rebuilding my army in the off screen. But this episode, I kind of wanted to talk about my wish list and just stuff that I've been thinking about, and maybe some feedback for the devs, just to add a little bit more to the game. And you guys let me know in the comments below whether you guys like those ideas or you don't. So we're going to talk to Ivan here. We're actually going to have him follow us. There he goes. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is faction quest chains. So we have all these awesome factions, but we don't know what they stand for, what they want to accomplish. We know the Uman Brotherhood's pretty evil. I'd like to have a villain, and you know the Atov seem to be a villain because they kind of side or they fund the Uman terrorists. I don't know if they fund them or not, but they kind of they're not at war with them. They're the only faction that is at peace with them. So maybe they're their kind of evil government type. They're not quite the bad guy. Maybe the Uman terrorists are the bad guy, but the Tove are another form of bad guy. They do some good things, but they side with the Uman terrorists, so that's not a good thing, right? So each faction, let's say you go to the capital city or whatever, and you meet with the leader of each faction. I think each faction should have kind of a leader or a group of leaders that you can talk to get these quests in town. And it's a big chain, so it's like 6 or 7, maybe longer, of a quest where you go do things for these guys. So it might be like intercept a trade convoy, and they need these special, the special parts or something like that, and you take them back, and they give you another quest, and you get a little dialogue. You find out about the faction and what the mindset of that faction is. So we kind of know, the evil, if they're evil or if they're good, that kind of thing. And that brings me to my next one. Like, once you finish that quest chain, let's see, you have in your inventory, you have all these different slots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, 6, 7, 8 slots. So you can have like 8 faction quest chains. How many factions are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 with the Uman. So maybe like as soon as you finish that huge quest chain that reveals story about the land and all that you get something special for it. So that brings me into special items. So they're kind of like maybe a one of a kind pistol that's better than all the other pistols in the game. So not like OP, but if we go to our inventory here, the Desert Eagle 80 is a pretty good gun. But maybe it has a different, say it has a different skin, and it has like a scorpion on the handle and it's gold plated, and it does a little bit more damage. Maybe it does 80 damage. It's just unique. It has a cool skin, and you find it through. That's the reward for completing that quest line. So maybe, and then you finish another one and you find out about the Posna, and maybe you get a really cool armor set. So this is like a different skin, and it's unique, and it's got a little bit more armor. So maybe it's got 70 armor and a little bit more camouflage. So they could do something like that, maybe a better helmet for another faction. So I'd like to see kind of more special items, I guess, something that you get for completing something that you can't really buy in stores or anything like that. So it's something that's you could show off your accomplishments kind of that way. So I think that would be pretty epic, and it would reveal story, and it would give you a purpose to do that story because you want that item that unlocks or that's given to you after completing that quest chain. So I think that would be pretty cool. Um, Now the other thing I had was walking around town. I think that's going to be important for modders in the future. So I want how I'd like to see it as like when you build these upgrades for these towns, they show in the map or in when you go walk around the town, you can see that building being built. If it's being built, you can see you can walk in these things and you can upgrade them too. So say you build the airport right in one of the towns. I'm waiting for Ivan to catch up here. Say you build the airport in one of the towns. We're gonna go over to Lubni. Um, you should be able to walk to that airport and maybe be able to upgrade it. So you walk in there and you upgrade it, and it gives you a UAV. Because I know they were looking at like some of that stuff. So a UAV can be, a cooldown, and if you have a bunch of airports with that upgrade, then we're already under attack again. Jeez. 21 troops. How many people? Man, we might just have to let that one go. I kind of want to take Lubni right now because we have Ivan real close here. So we're going to talk to Ivan once he gets a little closer. But you walk in there and you can upgrade it, maybe several different levels, all these buildings, and they give you a little bit of a buff. So the hospital will heal your troops a little bit faster. You level it up to level 2, 3, so on, and you get a little bit of a buff. So the airport would give you maybe a UAV, and maybe like if at the highest maximum, it gives you maybe you can do like an airdrop. So if you need, say you need, I don't know, equipment or something like that, at the highest level, it gives you an airdrop. That's not too OP. So you can have it drop you ammunition during a battle or something. And it's got a cooldown that you can't, maybe you use it only like once a day or something like that. So be able to walk around towns in upgradable buildings that you can walk into and see those visual upgrades. And the towns, I feel like that's a good opportunity for them to maybe go third person when you walk around the town so you can kind of see your gear. If that doesn't work, then you can do first person. I don't know if that's a big deal for the devs or not. But I would also like to see when you take over, say you take over a town from the Uman Brotherhood, it's pretty, worn, torn, it's beat up. The people are like, not healthy, they're skinny, kind of like Bannerlord when they said that the towns would kind of adjust to the prosperity. So I'd like to see, some NPCs walking around just in this mode because you're not fighting. So the game should be able to handle it. A little bit of population there, and you can see whether they're malnourished and all that. And then when you have a good town that everything's built up, it looks, there's no rubble around. Everything looks all nice and tidy. The people are well fed. They have money, that kind of stuff. So I'd like to see those kind of visual upgrades when you're walking around town. I think that would really take it to the next level. So the NPCs they had that on one update, guys, where the menus were more interactive. They weren't menus. You'd walk into the town and you get a little static drop, and you can click on the NPCs that you want to talk to. So maybe they're doing something. They took that out, and I think that should be brought back, or you should be able to walk around town and talk to those NPCs. These are in no particular order either. So another thing too, we're going to attack this. We're going to go Ivan. Actually, I'm going to do that through the companion screen. We're going to go Ivan, what town do we need you to attack? It was Lubni. So if I go companion, attack, Lubni, boom. You should go right in there. Boom. And then we're going to join in. I have rebuilt the army a little bit. So I'll show you guys that right now. Not fully, but a little bit. I'm going to spend money. Actually, this is a good time because I feel like when these guys are high morale, they do fight quite a bit better. We're going to play it easy as we level some of these guys up because we've got some new troops. I've been going around trying to get these guys back up to snuff, but we're not quite there yet. I probably need another little bit to play through, but we're getting there. I'm trying to keep the low level units for the garrisons, so I'll probably like throw some of these guys in here. I'm not gonna do that squad, but maybe Charlie. This guy can go in here, and we'll reward you guys again. Okay. And again, there we go. Low level troops, I'm just gonna keep for the garrisons. So another bug that I've encountered because I've gone through a couple days since we last played is my attempts left. I don't get any new attempts after the next day, so that's kind of a bummer. So I want to really take the rest of this map so we can check out the test version. Or maybe we'll get lucky and the test version will not be in the test version anymore. It'll be the full version, and we can try a whole new game with all the new stuff, because the trade lines haven't been implemented, or they've been implemented, but since we're running on an old save, none of that stuff is in game. So that's my plan going forward. Hopefully we can see what the ending is like in this playthrough. We're going to help Ivan here. But I'd also like to see outside powers. Like, I want to be able to talk to the world outside of this. So maybe you have Russia or something. Maybe you have the United States. They can be fictional. They don't have to be that. But something kind of like Tropico. Like Tropico, you could talk to the United States, Russia, and I don't know if the new one added China. But you'd have relations, and they'd give you certain perks, but they could be a real pain if you were kind of against them. So maybe they would spy on you or something like that, or try to, poison the water source in your town, or they don't really affect you maybe on the battle, or you see them on screen, but they do send spies in to maybe sabotage if you're against them or something like that. And maybe if you're with them, they help you out. They send you troops, they send you financial aid, they send you maybe like some kind of research or something like that that allows you to build certain things. So that's another thing too. I think research would be pretty cool in this game. So research, so maybe you build a library, or I don't know, like a research center, and maybe you can research different things. I don't know, like for instance the drones or the UAVs, or that kind of stuff. Maybe a little bit better armor, maybe kind of buffs or something like that. Like you come across, or there's different training that you can learn. Some kind of research tree I think would add some depth to the game too. And I'm just kind of messing around here because we got Ivan. So we're going to play it a little bit safe. Ivan's going to go in and kill most of these guys for us. I think that guy's dead over there. But yeah, I mean, those are kind of the biggest things. Faction quest chains, special gear and weapons that you can unlock from those quest chains. Walk around town, make it really interactive. Immersion, with the town kind of upgrading and all that, and NPCs walking around. And outside powers. I think that would be kind of cool, and maybe things that yeah, and you can swap items from towns, so like trade routes and all that kind of stuff. So I like just a little bit more depth, and also some kind of game that you can earn a little bit of money early game, maybe a card game, or it doesn't have to be poker or blackjack like in the previous version. It was blackjack, or previous versions ago. It could be something else, totally something to kind of take your mind off the game, kind of like Gwent in Witcher 3, where everyone really liked that, or Final Fantasy with their card games. It doesn't even have to be a card game. It could just be something that you can play a little bit. I think that would be kind of cool. I think faction music, so if you're in a faction town to. Maybe they have different music. Maybe they have a little bit different architecture. Just a little history. I don't know if that's a lot to ask for, but could be pretty hard to do. Now, I don't expect the devs to do all that stuff, but I really think the quest chains to unreveal story of the factions, I think that's a pretty big one they can do that and get that done and have some kind of story that breaks it up from the normal like conquest mode. I think that would be pretty cool. And the special items that you get from doing that as well. It's like some fog in here. I don't know if I've seen the fog yet. So hopefully, like I said, I'm playing it very safe with my troops. I don't want to send them in. I really don't. I want Ivan to take it because he can go get more troops pretty easy. There's a sniper somewhere. Oops. Alright, there's two right there. I'm going to run over here. Ooh, maybe not. Alright, let's engage. Let's try that again. That's what I get for talking too much. But at least we didn't lose any of our troops, and I can heal up very, very easily. Do we not have Ivan's men? I don't think we have Ivan's men. So if you lose Ivan? How does that work? Oh no, Ivan's men are right there. Okay. Let's go around this way this time. I'm gonna take our troops this way. You guys will have to let me know in the comments what you think of that, what those ideas. I got more health now too. I gained a couple levels just by sniping and keeping people really far away from us. I have the ammunition and it's a night battle. I think with the camouflage that I'm wearing, I think pretty hard to beat. Pretty hard to beat. So try to take, if you go night camouflage, especially if you're equipping your whole army with night camouflage, you probably want to wait for these massive battles at night. I'm missing him. Why is he laying down right there? Oh, missed him. All right. I mean, what else would you guys like to see? As long as it fits into the game, I think the devs are open on some of this stuff. I really like the town management and the town development already. I think they just take that to the next level. Another thing that would be probably really hard, but it would be really cool, is if they did a little voice acting. And I've heard, so Tina did mention in the Steam forums that they went from 3 devs, I think, to 5 to 13. So I think they're at 13 devs, and that's why we're seeing pretty quick progression right now. Just more devs working on stuff. How did I not hit that guy? Where's that bullet going? I don't know if I'm too low or too high. There we go. He's down. That was a head hit. But I really like the gunplay. I think it's going in the right direction. Sound effects probably can be worked on a little bit. They're not too bad. The graphics, I think, are just fine. I think they just need to make these towns and cities a little bit bigger on this map, because they seem a little bit small and a little outdated. So maybe this is like a starting town, and then once you start building all this stuff, it kind of expands. and it looks better and cleaner. Oh, there are a ton of enemies over here. Holy cow. Let's see if I can get a couple of these guys over here. I have to aim pretty high, but we're getting them. Ooh, I tagged one. Maybe not. Like I said, I'm trying to play this really safe. Keeping my guys out of harm because I just went in and got a bunch of new guys, so I don't really feel like doing that over again because it was already kind of a pain. Alright, we're definitely doing some damage. I snagged this guy's head. There we go. Got him once. At least we weakened him up a little bit. Yeah, I'm curious to see the trade routes. I really want to see how that goes, but I'd like to see different battle screens. I want to see like farms and roads, and the battle screens are a little bit sparse too. I think that would be another thing. More cover, and more cover, I guess, in those big open battles. Maybe a farm or something like that, or some kind of, I don't know. So you can use a little bit more on the SMGs and shotguns and all that, and definitely with the urban combat. So some of these quest lines too, I had a good idea, I think. Well, I think I had a good idea, but maybe I didn't. Say one of the quest lines is, you know, you got to go into a town and you got to break in to, I don't know, a research center of the enemy or something like that, and maybe go undetected. And you can do it either, you know, maybe you can, it's just a building, so it doesn't load a whole map like this. It just loads a building and maybe the parking lot and some security, some cameras and all that. And maybe you can go shut off the power if you want to do it stealth. And you put your night vision on and your silenced weapons in, and you try to go in with a small team and take out the enemies and then grab whatever you're trying to grab and then get out of there. So I think that would be kind of cool, and break up some of the stuff, and then yeah, just basically just different stuff like that, I think would be really cool. Those guys are fleeing. Ivan's troops are over here. All right, there's only 22 of them in. You think we should just rush in? I think we can clean them out now at this point. 17 of them. Let's have these guys go over here. Oops. There's a couple enemies right there. I'm probably gonna see if I can get a better angle here. I'd rather go in myself than bring in our guys at this point. I think we're gonna be okay. I might not even have to bring in our guys. I'm gonna move over here. But yeah, also, so like, say you're doing you're doing another quest and it's like, attack this trade route. Well, you go into the map, you find them on the map, on the main map, and you engage them in battle, and it's a little bit different. It'll be like, dang, I didn't get that guy in time. Oh, there's a bunch of them over here that I can shoot. So it's a little bit different. Say like you go in and you just see a road and you see 2 trucks in the distance, right? And they're like those Toyota, you know, like a Hilux, I guess in Europe, or a Toyota, we call it a Toyota Tacoma here in the United States. All right, I think I got all those guys there. But it's got a mounted machine gun on both of them, right? And they don't move, so they don't move around the map, but you got to take out the, you know, maybe snipe the 2 machine gunners and then move your troops closer and then take everyone else out. So that could be a thing too. There we go. That's the battle. But yeah, the trucks don't move around, you just attack. Snipe out the machine gunners from the back. They can swivel around in that machine gun turret in the back of the truck, but the trucks just kind of stay in one spot. So you snipe them out, and then you move your troops forward, and then you can attack and then get whatever that you need for that mission. So I think just a little different breakups, different battle screens instead of just kind of Mount and Blade type style where it's just one force versus another, or 3 forces or whatnot if you're joining another battle. I think that could be just a nice little breakup. So we're going to take that, we're going to take that as well, and I think that's it. We got plenty of food. So yeah, just kind of basic stuff like that. We did take Lubni, so that's nice. And we'll fix some of this stuff, and then off screen I'll build the garrison up. I've got already troops ready for it, but Ivan did help out tremendously right there. And right now we're sitting at 57% complete. Still got a ways to go. So, but we're going to try to take the Tove out as quickly as possible. I'll probably do a little bit off screen between this episode and next episode. Probably take a couple towns, and then we'll come back and finish them off. So I'd really like to progress because I think the new update's going to come out in a week, and I don't want to lose all the progression. I want to see what it's like to actually beat the game. But you guys let me know in the comments what you think of my wish list. There's probably some other stuff that I'm not thinking about right now that I did think of in the past, but that's what we got right now. That's what I want to see. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.